What is going on, Jerry Yappers? Today we have a very exciting episode about a very awesome game. Well, a remaster of a very, very good game. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. I fucking loved this game. And I actually loved Dead Rising back in the day too. So this remaster is pretty faithful to the original game. And there's a lot of good stuff. There's a little bad, but we're going to get all into it and break it down. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster releases September 18th, 2024. So coming up on a year of its anniversary. And it's got a little performance issues, but it's based on the original Dead Rising, which came out August 8th, 2006. So it has been a while since this game has seen the light of day. I love the original Dead Rising. It's one of my favorite franchises. Playing through the original Dead Rising back in the day on Xbox was like one of the coolest experiences ever, man. And I feel like this was a game that was way ahead of its time. Just overall, just such a really cool and fun experience being trapped inside that mall. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of zombies literally everywhere. The gameplay shifts as you play it. The whole tone shifts. It's just so exciting. There's just something to explore around every turn of the mall. It's just so fun. So without wasting any more time, let's just jump right into it. Dead Rising, if you've never played it before, it's basically a zombie game. It's like your typical hack and slash game. This game is based on cases. It follows journalist Frank West. He hears about some stuff going on in Willamette. So he takes a chopper sent out to explore. He finds armed forces, and then he literally finds out there is a zombie outbreak happening. So yeah, there's multiple cases you have to solve, and there's a lot of time you have to spend waiting, although the remaster does a great job at letting you time skip, which was not a feature in the original game, which is very, very nice. But yeah, there's a whole myriad of stuff you'll be doing. You'll be killing psychopaths. You'll be saving survivors for extra XP, because all the things you do, every zombie you kill, every survivor you gather, everyone you save and bring back to the safe house, all rewards you experience points, and as well as the camera too. You can take pictures of zombies in this game. Different categories on how the pictures are ranked, and they can give you more experience or less experience. But overall, you want to keep leveling, because leveling is so important, because you need it to survive in this game. You can get away with lower levels if you're more experienced, but if you're a newer player, you definitely want to earn levels, because you have an inventory in this game, so you can only hold certain weapons. And that's what I love about this game. The inventory management is something I really, really liked about Dead Rising. You have to, hold weapons to deal damage and get kills. Obviously, you have to hold health items sometimes to heal up, and you can get like support items. Like there's books in the game that help you hold on to weapons longer, escort survivors easier, heal more from food. You have a skateboarding book that makes your skateboarding. You can like do skateboarding tricks. So there's this delicate balance you have to do with the inventory system, which is very fun. It's like, how many weapons should I carry? How much food should I carry for this next fight? Should I bring more food into this boss fight? Should I bring more weapons into this boss fight? What books do I want to carry to make my job easier here? So I always love the inventory system. And then yeah, leveling up gives you more storage in your inventory to carry more stuff, which is just a no-brainer. You want more stuff. As you level up, you can get more unarmed attacks too. Like Frank does a bicycle kick and kicks the heads off zombies. He does like this rotating spin. There's all sorts of moves you can unlock with Frank, although I didn't really find these to be useful in the base game, let alone the original, let alone the remaster, just because, the weapons in the mall are just more useful than your unarmed. You can also get more hit points, which is good because you can take more hits. And then one of the arguably the better features is you can get faster, right? So there's 3 speeds in the game. You could get faster if you level up, so it's just very nice to have. And then obviously you can get more attacks as well, or a bigger attack stat, so your attacks do more damage, which is very nice and useful because it's useful. So every Dead Rising game kind of follows the same formula, right? Like there's the 72-hour mode, which is like the base campaign mode. And then there's the overtime mode, which is like the true ending of the game. Because, I forgot to mention, there's multiple endings this game can have. It can end with Frank dying. There's just multiple ways it can end. I don't even remember all of them, to be honest, because I always just go for the overtime ending. But yeah, the overtime ending is like that. You find out the actual truth of the cases, right? It's like the actual true canon ending. And then there's also an infinity, I can't fucking talk, I'm retarded. But yeah, there's an infinity mode as well at the end when you beat overtime mode. And what infinity mode is basically just, survive as long as you can forever. I've never. The original one is like you have to sit there and play it the whole time with no saves. But in the remaster, the infinity mode it operates slightly different. You can have one save that you can back out of and then go back to and continue, which is nice. I've been doing that a little bit here and there. Dude, this game is just so fucking iconic, man. Like the mall is just so iconic. I haven't played this game in years, and coming back to it, everything just floods back to my memory, dude. Like every Dead Rising game literally rewards you with knowledge. The more you play these games and the more you learn the map, you know just all the good spots, you know where all these hidden weapons are. Like I know Paradise Plaza, the first mall. I know about the orange juice on top of the rafter. I know about the Uzi on top of the rafter, like right when you walk out of the security room. I know about the katana on the awning, like near the juice bar. There's just so many hidden objects, and that's why I love about Dead Rising in the first place. I know I'm gonna jump all over the fucking place here, but one of the things I loved about Dead Rising as a kid especially was like everything is a weapon. Like the whole mall is kind of a character, and like there's just so much life. Everything is a weapon. There's toy lightsabers, toy squirt guns, CDs you can throw, guitars you can throw, soda cans you can throw. There's dishes you can throw, frying pan you can put on the fryer, or you can put on the oven and cook it up, and you get extra points to deal damage with zombies. You can throw wine glasses. There's blenders. You can make all sorts of different elixirs, right? There's like a quick step elixir, which is so good because it lets you traverse the map very quickly. There's a Spitfire elixir that lets you literally spit fire. There's an untouchable one where you can't get touched by zombies. There's just so much versatility to how you play this game. And like I said before, it rewards you with knowledge. If you remember the stuff, it's very easy to get through the game. This is a good opportunity to talk about the rest of the mall. Why not, right? So we have the Paradise Plaza. That's basically the very first plaza. It has the iconic piano tune. Everybody knows this part of the mall. There's the security room, which is where like you first spawn in, where you meet Brad and Jesse. They're like the Homeland agents, right? Homeland security agents. This is also where all the survivors are and where you bring them back to when you rescue them. You have the courtyard. I can't even remember if it has a name, or Parkview Mall or whatever it's called. I'm stupid. I'm a goddamn buffoon. Of course it's called Leisure Park, man. How could I forget that? The convict spawn here, the convict psychopaths with the machine gun on the Jeep. There's the underground maintenance tunnel, which is just, basically a car park filled with zombies. There's also the butcher shop down there for the boss fight later. You got the North Plaza, which isn't so exciting. It's got, stuff like the gun shop. It's got stuff like the Cliff boss fight at the Home Depot kind of supply store. It's got the Steven boss fight in the food supermarket. It's got like a little blade shop there too, which is nice. But this is like the part of the mall that's under construction. So visually, it's not all that exciting. There's the Wonderland Plaza, which is the iconic part of the mall, which has the amusement park ride, the roller coaster, which is also, it comes with the Adam boss fight, the Adam the Clown boss fight, gives you the iconic fucking small chainsaw that carries you through the rest of the game. And then once you turn off the machine, you get Greg too, which he gives you the shortcut between the Paradise Plaza and Wonderland, which is very, very useful. There's the food court, which is where the first Carlito fight takes place. Not too exciting, just your average food court. You can make a bunch of elixirs and stuff here too, which is nice. There's the Alfresca Plaza, which I think, in my opinion, probably the least visited place in the entire mall, if I had to guess. And then you have the entrance plaza, which is like where the beginning of the game, where the old lady lets all the zombies into the mall because her dog is out there and she wants her dog back. So that's kind of the whole reason the mall goes to shit, is because of this old woman. And that's basically it as far as all of the sections in the mall. There's the one section under the clock tower at the end of the game, but I don't really consider it a part of the overworld because you don't really visit it until the end game. Okay, so now that I've talked about all the places in the mall, all the different locations you can go to and visit, why don't I talk about the other main part of the game, which is the psychopaths, the bosses. They're called psychopaths in this game. I know they kind of later renamed them to like maniacs and some weird stuff in Dead Rising 4. But yeah, in this game, they're psychopaths just like they are in the original one. And let's just rank them from worst to best, because why the fuck not? I don't want to talk about them in order. That's kind of lame. We'll do a Watch Mojo worst to best here. So fuck it. Let's get into it. Okay, starting off with the worst boss in the game. My personally least favorite boss in all of Dead Rising 1 and the remaster. It's got to be Brock. It's the final boss in the game. It's the final military guy, Brock. He's responsible for the cover up of the Santa Cabeza, zombie like infection leak, right? The final boss itself, like, I like his story. I like him as a character. The fight itself sucks ass. It's supposed to be an unarmed combat, hand-to-hand combat, but it ends up being so buggy that you kind of just have to use like gimmicky strategies to kind of hold him in place and just to kind of like keep cheap shotting him. I don't know. It just doesn't really work as a fight. We'll include the tank as well. The tank fight, it's kind of cool, but it's like this on the rails kind of shooter, boring experience. I don't know. Not that interesting. So that's why Brock, I'm sorry, man. You're kind of a gimmick fight. I'm going to leave you down here at the bottom. Next up at number 13 is the Isabella motorcycle fight. Now, Isabella is not really a boss fight. She has a boss fight, so that's why I'm including her. But, she's just on a motorcycle outside of the produce store just trying to run you over. It's not really all that exciting. The motorcycle's annoying. You have to just dodge out of the way and shoot her back. It's not too complicated. I think Isabella as a character is just better when she's like a companion, when she's like a friend of Frank, right? When she's an ally. I just don't really think she works as a psychopath, but her fight's not as bad as Brock, so that's why she edges him out slightly. Falling into the number 12 spot on my list here is the Hall family. Roger, Jack, and Thomas Hall. They're the sniper family in the entrance plaza. If you remember the second Carlito boss fight, you know how Carlito kind of snipes you from there. Well, this whole fight just feels like another version of that, except for one guy. There's three. Also, there's no ending cutscene with this boss fight for some reason. I don't know why. Every other psychopath in the game has like an entrance cutscene and then an exit cutscene when you kill them. This family doesn't. They have like an entrance one. There's no exit one. There's no redemption arc for the one. You kind of just kill him. Like Thomas, the one in the entrance cutscene, feels guilty about killing innocent people. It kind of feels like he should have like a redemption arc. You should be able to recruit him as a survivor, but you can't, so you just kill him. I don't know. It feels very underwhelming. So for that reason, they are going to sit comfortably at number 12. Now, number 11 might be controversial. I don't know. People like this guy. I don't really like him. I don't think you're supposed to like him, but it's Kent, the photography guy. What's cool about Kent is that you don't know he's going to be a psychopath boss. He kind of just turns on you way later. But multiple days go through with having to please him with the photos you take, right? And then he eventually just turns out to be a psychopath and he wants to kill Frank. I like that he's Frank's foil, it's cool. It's a cool gimmick. It's a cool idea. But unfortunately, I just don't really like Kent that much as a person. So that's why he's going to sit at number 11. Now, number 10 is one I wish they didn't change, but for some reason they did in the remaster. It's Larry the Butcher. Larry in the original Dead Rising was like a big fat Chinese guy, but in this one they made him American and white for some reason. It's just one of those things where it's like I don't really know why it had to be changed. I kind of just liked him before. I don't really know, like I don't know what they're trying to prove by changing it to just a normal white guy. I feel like it kind of just kills the whole character, the whole point of the character. I don't believe in changing stuff just for the sake of changing it, unless they're trying to do some sort of anti-racism bull. I don't know what the hell they're doing with this, but the fight itself is really cool. It's in like a butcher shop, like a meat processing butcher area underneath the mall and like in the underground maintenance tunnels. He drags Carlito there. He ends up being the reason Carlito dies, so he's a pretty big part of the story. The fight itself is really cool. You're moving throughout all these like hanging meat cows, right? It's very interesting. The location is like perfect. But yeah, just the fact that they changed him to a white guy, I think it's stupid. So that's why he falls all the way down here. If this was a Dead Rising 1 regular, he probably would have been up a few more slots. Number 9, we have Paul, the beta guy. Paul is a weird one because I like him because he can turn into a survivor, right? You can save him and he can actually end up being a survivor. But he's basically, he thinks these 2 chicks are making fun of him, and he wants to kill him because he's a fucking psycho. So yeah, he's just a weird boss, not really interesting in my opinion. So deserves a spot lower in the list here. Number 8 is going to be Joe, the lesbo copper, the dyke cop. She ties up all these women in like the women's clothing area in the Wonderland Plaza. She's just not, I don't think she's that like interesting. I'm sorry I'm using the same word over and over again, but I just don't really know what else to say. She just doesn't intrigue me that much. She's just a huge fat cop, very stereotypical lesbian cop, very overweight, is abusing these women. Very weird. So she just deserves the number 8 spot. Number 7 is going to go to Steven, the deli mart, the produce guy, the guy with the shopping cart. You come in my store. That guy. I love him, man. He's iconic. He's one of the mandatory boss fights in the game that you have to fight to get Isabella right, and to also get the medicine for the 1 case mission. But yeah, he's iconic, man. His theme is really good too. Like the music that plays when he is pretty good. The first time, he took me a couple tries the first time, man, because he's quick, man. He is quick. He runs you over with a cart, and then if you try to get up on top of like the refrigerators and stuff, he'll shoot you. So after Steven at number 6, we have Cletus. Cletus is the gun shop owner. I like this guy as a story. I like him as a gun store owner. I like the fact that he went crazy. I like that he's not trying to give people his guns. I just don't really like his fight all that much. You can't really get in and melee him because he just shoots you. If you try to hop the counter, he'll just throw you back over the counter. You really just have to stand outside the store and shoot him back, kind of. It's not too exciting, but I just like him as a character more than the other guys. So that's why he kind of climbs ahead there. And now we're getting into the top 5, man. The top 5 best psychopaths in Dead Rising. All right, breaking the top 5, man. My 5th favorite psychopath in the game is Cliff Hudson, man. Cliff is a heartbreaking story, man. He's the Vietnam vet, man. He goes crazy after the zombie apocalypse starts happening. He kind of explains how he went insane after hearing his granddaughter's, screams as she was dying to the zombies. Very, very sad. But he's just such a cool fucking fight, man. He jumps around in his little holes. He vents like in Among Us, right? You hit him a couple times, he'll go run away, and then he'll vent, and then he'll come back up randomly and come back out of you. I don't know. It's a very cool fight. It keeps you on edge. The voice actor guy, Steve Blum, voices him. Like famous fucking Steve Blum. So iconic. He voices Tank Dempsey and like the COD Zombies. He's Spike Spiegel and Cowboy Bebop. Wolverine. Just so many fucking iconic voices this guy does. And, to have him be in Dead Rising, very fucking cool. Moving on to the number 4 spot, we have the guys that are, probably one of the biggest reasons people were afraid to go into Leisure Park in the beginning of the game. These guys are definitely very scary to face if you're not prepared to. And it's the convicts, man. It's the prisoners in their Jeep. There's 3 of them. I don't know their names because I just haven't really looked into them that much, but it's the 3 convicts in the Jeep with the fucking huge gun turret on the back. The famous song that plays every single time you walk outside, the Gun Guru. They go, dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it. Well, dude, it's so iconic, man. It brings a fucking smile right to my face. These guys are interesting too because they are, I believe, the only boss in the game that respawns. They're there every single day, so you can kill them once per day, and you obviously get rewarded with XP, and you can take the gun and the turret, or you can take the gun, or you can drive the car around. But yeah, they do respawn after every single day, which was kind of frustrating, but again, once you learn the game, once you know how to dispatch of them very quickly, they're not a problem at all. But they're just up, they're way up at the top of the list here just for sheer aura purposes, man. They're like one of the first things you see in Dead Rising. They really set the tone of the game of just how wacky it's gonna be. I just fucking love these guys, man. Super, super memorable. Very, arguably the most memorable boss fight in the game, probably. You know what? I'm just remembering this now, and they're the other boss in the game, one of the other psychopaths that doesn't have a death cutscene, along with the Hall family. And I just realized they're both trios, so there's something to be said there. I just wish they had a death cutscene, man. It would have made them probably go up to number 2 or 1, maybe, but at least get top 3. But yeah, it just sucks that they don't have a death cutscene. All right, it is time for the top 3, the podium finish. And for the number 3 spot, taking home the bronze medal, we have Sean, the cult leader. This guy is kind of a menace. I really like his personality. I like how he kind of takes control of the zombie apocalypse. He's really the only one to kind of like try to get something out of it or try to make like a movement out of it. But I just love the general like aura the mall has when the cultists spawn in, and you hear their weird rumblings, and just it's so, I don't know, man, the shift in tone, it just like gets so dark and dreary. I don't know, man, like I just really feel you can really feel Sean's presence in the mall because his cult literally takes over the entire mall. These guys, the yellow jacket guys, are literally everywhere with the green mask. And, the first couple times you play, you are very scared of these guys because they can knock you out, drag you into like this warehouse, and you lose all your items, right? So this didn't happen to me in this playthrough just because, I like to think I'm pretty good at the game. So doesn't really happen to me anymore. But yeah, the first time that happened, that was terrifying. Yeah, it's just they're mumbling. It's creepy as hell. And then the Sean boss fight himself, he's kind of crazy. He has, what is it, like 4 survivors in the movie theater with him, and then he has 1 extra locked in the closet. So you get 5 survivors from him. The fight itself, he just has this big ceremonial sword, right? He just runs at you and tries to smack you with it. He's pretty fast. He can knock you down. Overall, not too bad, though. You just dodge roll out of the way and hit him back, or you can just run around and shoot him, too. That works. And then he also gives you a magazine or a book for making escorting survivors easier, which in the very first game, the non-remaster, is definitely very helpful because the survivor AI is just so fucking terrible in that game. But in the remaster, you don't really need it, in my opinion. I think that AI is smart enough to pretty much go where you want them to go, so it's not too much of a problem. But yeah, Sean the cult leader is iconic, man. Definitely iconic. Like, definitely one of the 3 guys you think of when you think of Dead Rising Psychopath. Taking the silver medal at number 2, we have Adam the Clown. Adam is a really, really cool fight, man. I really like Adam's backstory, how, he's not insane. He didn't want to kill children, but he kind of he put kids on the roller coaster in the Wonderland Plaza to try to keep the zombies from killing them. And then he kind of just went crazy after seeing everybody die to zombies for a while. I think that's really tragic. I think it's very, very noble. Probably not the best action to take in dire times like this, but it's something. It's commendable. His boss fight, he has like a couple he doesn't have phases, but he has like an actual fight, you can't just shoot him down because he can block it. You have to like very carefully have patience with him, wait it out, wait till he blows his balloon up, and then you can hit him, and then he drops it, and then he stuns himself. Very cool fight, man. It feels like an actual fight instead of just running around, dodging, shooting back. Feels like it has layers to it. So Adam the Clown, iconic ass character. Drops the iconic mini chainsaw, the best melee gun. Melee. I was about to say melee gun. I'm fucking stupid. The best melee weapon in the game, the small chainsaws. These things are goated. They kill everything so fast in the game. And then if you obviously hold on to the book that lengthens the lifespan of bladed weapons, they last a long while too. And you can keep going back and getting them every day, I'm pretty sure. That might be for the remaster only. I don't feel like I remember that in the original game, because I haven't played it in so long, so I don't really know for sure. But in the remaster, at least, you can go back and get the mini chainsaws again even after you've killed Adam. So pretty interesting. And with all the other boss fights out of the way, all of the other psychopaths talked about by process of elimination, I'm sure you already know who I'm going to say for number 1 spot. The number 1 spot is truly the heart and soul of Dead Rising. He's the reason we're at the mall. And it's Carlito, man. Carlito. The famous Carlito, the Santa Cabeza incident. He brings the virus over. He has a bunch of zombie sleeper cells for later games that are set up. This guy is so iconic. He doesn't have that many voice lines, but he doesn't need to because he just has so much aura. Carlito is the man, dude. I love Carlito so much. This guy is unique in the sense where he has 3 boss fights in the game. One of them is the food court one with Brad right in the beginning of the game. The second one is the sniper in the entrance plaza. And the last one is the truck driving in the maintenance tunnel when you have to get rid of all the bombs he has planted. I love the fact that he's like the true first survivor you see when you get off the helicopter right in the beginning of the game at the heliport. You don't know he's going to be your enemy yet. You don't know he's responsible for literally the entire zombie outbreak. It's so cool. And then he just kind of turns villain and it kind of catches you by surprise a little bit. If I had to make one minor complaint, I would just say I kind of hate how he dies. I hate how Larry is the one that gets him. I really feel like it should have been a showdown between like him and Isabella, or at least, between him and Frank, because you face off twice already. So it's like, I don't know. It's just a little kind of underwhelming how he dies to Larry. But besides that, perfect character, literally like 9.9 out of 10 execution. Again, just that death by Larry, not the best. But other than that, he's like I said before, the heart and soul of Dead Rising. He's the reason we're at the mall. Iconic character, looks cool, is badass, has aura. Nothing left to say about my man Carlito. And that right there is going to do it for my psychopath list in Dead Rising 1. I love this goddamn game. I think all the bosses are pretty fun for the most part. For all the 2 people that are going to see this in like 20 years from now, let me know in the comments. Did I get this right or did I get it wrong? But yeah, moving on from that, I don't really know what else to talk about here. I already went over the mall, Dead Rising in general. I love the game so much. We already know that because we're here talking about it on the podcast. But we'll just close it out by going over a couple things I have in my little notepad here as I was playing the game. Just some different things and random stuff I thought of. Could be likes, could be dislikes that I just want to get into. So without further ado, let's just talk about some different things, man, like the different voice actors. This is something I forgot to mention earlier. Cliff, the boss fight earlier with Steve Bloom. It's not Steve Bloom in the remaster. That was my Dead Rising 1 nostalgia taking over. But yeah, they replaced a lot. I'm probably pretty much everyone, actually, as far as voice acting goes. Which sucks, I get it. They probably can't round up all the original actors. There's probably some troubles with pay and whatnot and AI usage and stuff like that, but it just sucks to have them replaced. One of the bigger issues I have with this game, and I don't know if this is just my experience, but I waited practically a year to play this game, although I wanted to get it on release, but I just didn't. I do this thing with new games where I typically just don't play new stuff that I want to play on release, just because I know it's going to be a buggy piece of shit that's eventually going to get patched and then be, a fully playable product how it should have released, right? I know that's just kind of how games are nowadays. They're technical or whatever. I'm not a dev. I'm not a programmer. I don't really know how it all works down to the specifics. But yeah, the performance on this game, even after almost a year of being released, was just not great, man. The performance wasn't great. Constant frame drops, like when you switch from malls to like the outside or you go to the movie theater, like anytime you switch locations, the frames would just plummet. And I even went to low graphics, went to 60 frames per second from uncapped, and it still didn't really make a difference all that much, which it just kind of sucked to see. But it would eventually smooth itself back out after a couple moments in the wherever I was running around. But it just sucks, especially in the maintenance tunnel. I noticed it a lot. Like when you're round corners, all the zombies just spawn, the frame drops. Like, I don't know. That was one of the biggest issues I had with this game. It just sucks that, it's 2025. We still can't release a playable game. And this isn't an indie company either. Like, it's Capcom, right? It's a fucking massive company. They make Resident Evil. They make all these other sorts of games. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if that was just a me problem. I don't have the best PC, but it's also like a pretty good PC. So I don't know. Performance issues, just not that great. Oh, and also the lighting in this game is weird. I've been playing through Infinity mode a couple times. I've died a couple times on it. It's fucking annoying as shit, but it's fun, man. I keep going back. But yeah, like in some parts of the mall, like during nighttime, like in the food court and especially in the North Plaza, like you cannot see a fucking thing. And I don't remember the normal, like the original game being like that. I didn't look it up or anything to see it or to confirm it, but I feel like the nighttime was pretty visible in that game. The nighttime in this game is like so fucking hard to see in some certain areas. In other areas, it's okay. Like actually outside, I think it's like the easiest to see. But yeah, some parts of the game were just so fucking dark, and it was like you couldn't see shit. And then the last of the dislikes I really have is that they removed the erotica picture or the erotica feature in pictures, which I'll explain it really quick. I didn't really get into it that much, but yeah, you take photos in this game. I know I mentioned it earlier. One of the categories was erotica in the original game. Taking like not upskirt photos, but like women's legs, cleavage, stuff like that. It just gave you more bonus points, but they removed it in the remaster for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I don't really care personally because I just don't really like using the camera all that much in Dead Rising anyway. I just think it's not really that fun. I just don't like the camera that much. But it just sucks that they remove stuff in the game, just why remove it if it's already there? Okay, we're flipping the coin over. We're doing the good stuff now. Some of my likes, I have my notes here. It's literally the same exact game as the first game for the most part. Just it's easier. It's a little easier, it has like autosave and stuff like that. I think the enemies are easier. Like the gun movement is cleaned up a bit. So, like remember in the original how you literally could not aim and walk at the same time. Now they've removed that, so you can walk slightly when you're like aiming now. So it's definitely a little better, which is nice. The UI is like significantly improved, along with like the mission markers and there's like a new compass on top of the screen that's really nice. There's a skipping time mechanic, right? So you can go up to like a save place and skip time if you want to, which is nice for those moments where you literally have nothing to do in the game. But this is good for someone like me that's played the game a bunch of times before or played Dead Rising a bunch before, and I kind of know how to explore and stuff. But it was really nice when you would get back to like the security room and you still had like a little bit of time to blow, so you could go run back to the save bench, fast forward time just a little bit, get the case started, and then go on. This game is really good at not wasting your time, if that makes any sense. I think the map of the mall itself and the start screen is really nice. You can see all the stores and like go through and select them all. I don't know. I don't know if they updated this from the first game, but it just looks like really clean in this game, so thought I'd mention it. There's a couple good quality of life updates I noticed, like the PP stickers from the first game. There's these stickers around the map. You take a picture of them, you get rewarded XP. In this game, they're bright yellow, and then when you finally capture it and it counts it'll get grayed out. So you already know you took the picture of it, which is very nice. That's a nice change. It tracks the clothes you've changed into for that one achievement. Like if you're trying to get all the clothes, if you're trying to change Frank into all the clothes in the mall, it tells you from the locker in the security room, basically just which ones you've already changed into. So that was nice. And perhaps the best change, and the last thing I'll talk about, is the survivor AI. Escorting survivors in Dead Rising 1 is so much better in this game than it is in the original. Holy shit. If anybody knows who's listening, or anybody just in general has played Dead Rising 1, the survivors are absolutely fucking brain dead in that game. They cannot like fend for themselves at all. They just get cornered. You have to fucking constantly knock zombies off of them. They never go where you want them to. You point, you go over there. As Frank, you give them a little waypoint. They always get stuck on something. But in this game, in 2025, we have an AI that actually kind of knows what is going on. So that's really nice. You point somewhere, they go there, you give them a weapon, they can usually use it. I don't know, just very nice change of pace, man. It's just so nice to be able to do what you want to do with the survivors and have them respond in a way you would expect them to. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I just really solid changes all around, man. Just the performance issues and the voice acting, pretty much the only downfall of this game, if you would even call it. That's calling it really dramatic. It's not a downfall, just a couple nitpicks if I had any. And again, the performance issues could just be on my end. I'm not sure. So there it is, man. There it is. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Absolute gem of a game. I had so much fun revisiting Willamette and the iconic mall, visiting all these iconic characters. And they kept the original soundtrack, too, for the most part, which is so nice. I just love this game, man. Dead Rising has been one of my favorite franchises since I played the original one on 360 all the way back in the day in 2008, man. Just such a fun franchise, man. I cannot wait to revisit the, 2, 1. I probably won't play the first one again for a while, but I do plan on playing, 2, maybe off the record, combining those into one video, maybe. I'm not sure yet. 3, and then oh God, 4. I hated 4. I've played the rest of them a couple times, but I've only played 4 once, and I just wasn't a fan of it. So yeah, I want to do them all eventually. We'll see when they come out. I probably won't do the first one for a long, long time, just because I played this one, and it's practically the same game. But yeah, that's going to do it, man. I love Dead Rising. We'll just get into the game report about what I've been playing in a little bit. And then, yeah, we'll call it, man. So game report. What have I been playing over the past couple weeks? However long it's been since, what was my last episode? Mario Golf Super Rush? that shitty little episode I put out. Yeah, that was like a nothing burger episode. I just wanted to throw out for a meme. But yeah, besides that, I know I said I was playing Pokemon Unite. I hit Master Rank. I gave up on that, so I just don't want to play it anymore. I'm done for now. I'll probably come back to it eventually, but we'll see. Still playing a lot of Overwatch. I don't have to explain it, guys. I love Overwatch. They just came out with a Nerf collab today, which is pretty silly and fun. So there's that. Overwatch, been playing a lot of that. I've been getting into a Mechabellum recently a lot again. So I've been playing Mechabellum. I've preached it a lot in these earlier episodes, and I did make an episode on that game as well, but I stopped playing it for a while, but now I'm back in on it. They added a couple more units and made a lot of updates to the game. It's so fucking fun, man. I'll be playing that after this podcast uploads as well. So yeah, mainly just Overwatch and Mechabellum, man. Not too crazy from my, not straying too far from the path here of which I normally take. As far as what I'm going to play in the future, I don't really know, man. I don't know. It's I want to play Mario and Luigi, the Brothership game for the Switch I got. I also have a couple more Switch games I want to get through just to blow through my backlog. I also have a lot of stuff on Steam to play too, but like I said before, I don't want to sit here and rush single player games just to get the podcast episode out. I want to play them naturally as I want to play them, because that's what games are, man. They're supposed to be fun, and I don't want to sit here and force myself to play something if I'm not having fun, or if I'm just not in the mood to play anything else but Overwatch. And that's kind of just my gaming experience. I play other stuff when I don't feel like playing Overwatch. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. That's the game report. And with that, the episode will now conclude. Welcome to this place. I'll show you everything with arms wide open. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. As always, don't forget to exercise, you fat piece of shit. Don't forget to drink water, you fat piece of shit. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. Have a nice weekend whenever you're listening. Take care. Goodbye, peace.